Welcome to PhD&D on YouTube, and I've got behind me what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, I've got some goodies that I've recently gotten. I want some feedback on those. Also, Google Hangouts and D&D Next, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. So, first things first. Now, first thing goodie-wise, we're going to discuss dice for a second. Let's see if I can get a good one. Dice bag. So, I like to, not collect dice, but I like to get a new set every now and again. And I always get, I believe they are Chessex is the brand. The smooth edge dice. So I got on Amazon to get a few things with some Christmas money I had. And decided to get a set of the Precision, or Game Science, is that it? Like the Precision dice with the sharp edges. Just because I didn't have a pair. You can't really get them around here in any of the game stores. So I got this set here, and they're all same colors, but standard set. Very sharp, but kind of cool. So thoughts on that. First of all, does anyone use more so the sharp-edged Game Science dice or the Chessex, the round-edged dice? Or for some people it doesn't matter. I kind of just like to have them, and whatever I grab, if I need D20, I look for the closest one, grab it, roll it. So that's the new addition. There's a couple of those. But moving on, this is where I really want more feedback than the dice. Books. Got some new books I like to read. I don't read enough, or as much as I'd like to. I've read, some of the more recent series. The first couple of the Song of Ice and Fire. I read the first one there, and part of the second one. It's harder for me to get into his writing style. I like it, but it's tougher for me to actually force myself to sit down and read it. So, and I've read a lot of the Drizzt books, and I love those, but I want to get into some others. So what I bought, first off, after Gentleman Gamer's interview with Ed Greenwood, I figured, I haven't read any Greenwood at all. And I know he's famous for a lot of stuff, for Forgotten Realms, for his character Elminster, so I looked up the first couple books there, and I went and picked up, it's the first 3 in 1, I believe, Elminster Ascending, so I'm going to start that. But it's got Elminster Making of a Mage, in Myth Drenner, and The Temptation of Elminster, so looking forward to that. So if anybody has read this, feedback, did you like it, or any of these? I guess there's 3 books in there. And what'd you think of it? Next up, I bought the classic, and I am ashamed to say I haven't read it, Dune. I'm assuming this is very good. That's all I've heard. So feedback there. Has anyone read it? What are your thoughts on it? And then the one that I'm currently reading out of those first, and that is The Eye of the World in the Wheel of Time series. Now, this is a big series, and usually I don't dive right into a series where I know they're huge, unless I set aside time to go for that, because I don't just like to read one book and then stop, typically. So I know there's a lot in this series, and I know some of you have read it, and so I want some feedback there. Like I said, I've started this one, and I'm liking his writing style so far, but just want to hear your thoughts on those books. So those are the new additions to the library right now. Now, moving on to Google Plus Hangouts. This past weekend, I got 3 guys from one of my campaigns to join up online, because 2 of them live a ways away. One's my roommate, so that's not hard, but 2 of them live about 2 hours away. And we got on Google Hangouts, the 4 of us, and it was our first session on Google Hangouts ever. First game ever played on Google Hangouts. So that was interesting. And I'll talk about that, but it also happened to be our very first session we've ever tried D&D Next. I've downloaded all the packets in the past, and I've read them, but we hadn't put together time to actually sit down and play. We were too busy with all the other games and campaigns we were doing. So we figured during the week, why not hook up over Hangouts and try it out. So we did. So first I'll give my thoughts on Google Hangouts and games there. It was a lot of fun. It went better than I thought it would. I thought there'd be a lot of trying to talk over each other and back and forth and stuff. we did create characters first. We got in the Hangout and took about 2 hours to create characters, and I let them each do that while I kind of was doing a little world building to prepare for the city or town they were going to start in. And so we just kind of hung out there, which was good because they discovered the Google effects where you can put like hats on yourself and sunglasses, beards, and so forth. So that got out of hand a little bit, but luckily it was during character creation for the most part, and they got that out of their system. It was hilarious. I should have actually filmed and put up this entire Hangout. It was just ridiculous, but hilarious, so that was good. Now, so thoughts there. Game went really well, went a lot better than I anticipated. This is a group that I'm used to playing 4th edition with, so I was worried about how we would adapt as a group to playing without miniatures and whatnot all the time. We've done certain encounters without miniatures in 4th edition, but I was a little hesitant there, but no problem at all. It went very smoothly. One of those other 3 has played other editions, so he was very good at transitioning them in and kind of leading them into that. So very good over Hangouts. It was enjoyable. I like it that as a GM I can put up pictures as my screenshot of who they're talking to. I didn't do it for everyone, but it's kind of fun when they're talking to like a barkeep to throw up this big dwarf barkeep picture and then do the voiceover for it. So they're actually seeing the person, not me, in doing that. So it has some advantages over in person, I think, but obviously being in person around a table has tremendous advantages over Hangouts. So it's just a very different style. I think it's fun to have a little bit of both. I think you should have a campaign around a table in person, but try to have one on here. You can get a different experience, and it's a lot of fun. So Hangouts, 2 thumbs up. A lot better than I was expecting. D&D Next. Now, my thoughts there, and I've got some videos coming up about, not about Next in particular, but more of the deeper meaning behind Wizards of the Coast, owning the D&D name and all that. But first impressions of Next, I really liked it. Like what they're doing. My players, more importantly, really enjoyed it. They had a blast. It's different, like I said, for most of them. So they really enjoyed the simplicity of it compared to the 4th edition they're used to. They love the fact that there's 2-page character sheet and it's mostly just blank space for you to write down notes. It's not, these 3 are at epic level in our 4th edition campaign, so the wizard, he's got like a 13-page character sheet with all his rituals and spells, so 2 pages is nice. They felt it improved, it allowed for easier role-playing, as well as them to be able to engage and get into it a little bit more. Like I said, in 4th edition, I'm a proponent of it's fully possible to role-play and whatnot, but there is a certain aspect each system has that can make it easier or tougher to do that. And I think Next is a much smoother attempt at role-playing and immersion than 4th edition is. So, like that from Next, I'm liking a lot of the rules. There's things I don't like, and I won't get into those because I know this is an evolving playtest. I know things that I like could disappear, and I know things that I don't like could disappear as well. So we'll see when that gets released in a year or two what the final product looks like. But overall, I like it. Like I said, a few things don't like, a few things I do really like. The advantage, disadvantage, you hear about that all the time. But we loved it. It worked. It worked really well. It made a lot of situations very simple, and it doesn't take a lot of time to use. So that was a good one. We didn't even get into all the things you can do, all the actions you can do, and all the mechanics, I guess, of it. We, like I said, spent 2 hours making characters and probably another 2 hours of solid, first little introductions into the town and getting on some small quests and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. They loved it. They made some, 2 of them were semi-evil characters. I don't know their exact alignment, but not wholeheartedly evil, like want to kill everyone. More so humorous pranksters, if you will. And one of them was very serious. And he was a high elf, and the other 2 are wood elves, the evil ones. So it was a funny dynamic between them. And our 4th edition campaign is so serious, and so they get so into it that it's nice to have this fun side campaign where they role-played very well, almost just as well or more so than the 4th edition, the serious campaign, but it was just more ridiculous at the same time. One of the evil ones would always cast an illusionary spell to make it look like spiders were running all over people every time that somebody would make him mad, and they kept calling the serious one Pretty Elf because he was a high elf, which made him mad. So fun dynamic. Anyways, Google Hangouts, fun to play on. D&D Next, so far I'm liking it. Can't wait to play some more of it and see where they're taking it. But like I said, look forward to some more videos about Wizards of the Coast and Next. Not game-wise, but kind of a more overall, a deeper theme to it. So look forward to those. That's my review on Next and Google Hangouts, and that's some of my new stuff. So again, Eye of the World and the Wheel of Time series, Dune, and then Greenwood's first 3 on Elminster. If you've read any of them, let me know what you thought of them. Let me know if you liked them, or if you have any other suggestions for reading. And I like to build a library. I don't like ebooks very much, unless I have to get them, unless they don't make the actual book anymore. So I like to actually have the books. So let me know if there's any others I should include in my library, and thanks for watching, everyone.